So it's been confirmed that Warner Brothers is currently working on the development of a Mortal Kombat 3 movie that doesn't have a release date just yet. In fact, we haven't even seen the Mortal Kombat 2 film yet. It was supposed to come out a little bit later this month, but apparently it had gotten delayed. And that's something that kind of pisses me off because that was something I really want to do. In fact, it was on the top of my to do list for this month, but you know, it is what it is. If the Mortal Kombat 2 film that we get is polished and everything's perfect, then I really won't complain and maybe it'd be worth the wait. But the Mortal Kombat 2 film, as of right now, is scheduled to be released on May 15th of 2026. And and obviously we're gonna have the same director, we're gonna have the same writer, Simon McQuoid and Jeremy Slater. And we have no idea what the Mortal Kombat 3 film is going to be about. But I wouldn't be surprised if someone like, Shinnok from Mortal Kombat 4 or Mortal Kombat 10 made an appearance in that film because in the very first Mortal Kombat film that we got in 2021, I believe Shang Tsung was the main villain. In this upcoming film, Mortal Kombat 2, um, I believe Shao Kahn's supposed to be the main villain, but I'm not exactly sure whether or not they're going to go with a different protagonist for the Mortal Kombat 3 film because with the Mortal Kombat 1 film, we had gotten Cole Young as the main character, and in this upcoming film, they're shifting to Johnny Cage as the main character. And honestly, I'm kind of shocked that Liu Kang wasn't the main character in the 2021 film or in this upcoming film. He might end up being the main character in Mortal Kombat 3, or maybe it's just one of those deals where I guess the writers feel like Liu Kang is not as big of an attraction as he used to be. But I think the storytelling of the 2021 film was pretty good, despite the fact that Cole Young is not necessarily a character that casuals are really familiar with. And then you look at the film, right? That film was actually a massive success because I think it did like over 84 million in box office revenue, and it had over like 50 million budget, like it had like a $50 million budget. So yeah, I mean the first Mortal Kombat movie was, I mean, technically it was better than the ones that we got from the 90s, but I feel like the films from the 90s, they were they were more fun to watch, in the sense where they were so cheesy or bad to a point where it was good. Well, the first Mortal Kombat film from the 90s was cheesy, but it was decent, it was watchable. Mortal Kombat Annihilation was so bad it was good. It was just a hot mess, and I can watch it over and over and over, despite what people have to say about it. But I feel like the Mortal Kombat from 2021 was more, it was more serious compared to what we've seen in the past. I'm pretty sure this upcoming film and Mortal Kombat 3 is going to have a more serious tone as well. And I don't know, I'd be really surprised if we got the Mortal Kombat 3 film before 2030 because you look at, when the first Mortal Kombat film of this decade came out, it was 2021. So Mortal Kombat 2, the film, is supposed to be coming out next year, so it's like a 5-year difference. So it's quite possible that we might not see the Mortal Kombat 3 film until like 2030 or 2031. That's just my speculation. And and yeah, like I honestly feel like the Mortal Kombat series I think is more popular than it's ever been, especially like with with anything like anime related or anything like movie related. I feel like the video games have been good as well. Like there's been like a lot of like mainstream attention with the Mortal Kombat 1 game that we got from 2023, even though it didn't sell nearly as much as it should have. A lot of people said that Mortal Kombat 11 was overrated, and they really don't like Chronica and all that other stuff. I feel like with Mortal Kombat 1, more could have been done. I feel like the interactions between characters were not as good as like MK10 or MK11. In fact, a lot of people would go on record tell you that MK10 was way better when it came down to like tone and when it came down to character interactions and story and all that stuff. A lot of people liked MK10 and they would even go on record and say it was better than the MK9 game from 2011. But like, regardless, I still feel like, the Mortal Kombat series in general, is having another resurgence in terms of popularity. And I do feel like the next Mortal Kombat game we get after the one that we got in 2023 is definitely going to be better, and that NetherRealm Studios are going to do everything they can to try and make the game more exciting and edgy and all that other stuff. And I feel like one of the hardest things about like Mortal Kombat or like with the franchise in general is trying to get your audience invested in a brand new character because people are so familiar with characters like Sonya Blade and Raiden and Liu Kang and Johnny Cage, like who've been around since the very beginning. It's kind of hard to take a new character and just, make them the main protagonist or whatever. Because I think that's something that happened in older Mortal Kombat games, especially like during the 2000s. And some of those games aren't talked about nearly as much as they should be. But yeah, I think the Mortal Kombat 3 movie is something that's going to be a really, really big deal. And I feel like the success or failure of the Mortal Kombat 2 movie is going to dictate whether or not people are going to want to see the Mortal Kombat 3 movie. But the fact that they're in early development with the Mortal Kombat 3 movie, I think the developers, like the writers and the producer, they're pretty confident that this movie is going to draw in more revenue than the previous film from 2021.